How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about BBIG. Ended up having a pullback inside of the market. The messages have been coming in like, Dre, we need an update. What is going on? Well, you know what? You already know that I got you covered. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you are a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing that we're going to go over is a technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. Or what are some levels that we need to look out for, especially if we're trying to trade inside of this play. And then afterwards, we're going to go on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information. We already know that this play is well known for having that short squeeze potential. We want to look forward to seeing what the updates look like. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know where institutions loading up on shares today while the stock is pulling back. I think this would be very interesting to know. And hey, we're going to be taking a look at it. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to be doing a technical analysis for BBIG. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $7.95, being down 17.10%. On the low, it tested $7.67, and then on the high, testing $9.40. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 68.831 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days being at 153.907 million shares. So we had well below average volume on the day, and it's part of the reasons why we ended up seeing some pressure on the stock price. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is a 1-year daily chart, we can see from the RSI down below, it is at 58.59. So it has been cooling off from some highs that we see back here on the 1st of September when it was in the mid 80 range. Now, when we take a look at our chart here, but the moving averages, we are above all of them. And of course, that is no surprise because we've seen a lot of momentum. So one of the things that I want to go over, we ended up testing an area of support on the day at $7.67, and we were able to actually show some strength and bounce right off of it. And these are one of the things we want to pay attention to. So what we can clearly see, and you can see it, we have some support here, and we've talked about this right around this $8 range, or we could say $7.94 to be exact. So when you see these levels being tested and there's a lot of buying pressure or momentum, then of course that does give you that opportunity to ride the run up. On the day, as far as for the high is concerned, we end up getting to $9.40. So as far as going into tomorrow, this is going to be serving as an area of resistance. If we're able to actually get past this level of 940, then of course we can look forward to that move going to 10. If we go into tomorrow and we decide to pull back even further than from the $7.67 that we tested on the day, then we know for a fact the next level that we want to see hold up will be right here around the $7 range, which is actually being able to actually hold up that 21-day EMA around 705. So even if we did get to this particular area and we just consolidated and built some support and made some momentum for the next run up, that is not a bad look either. But do keep in mind, if you are inside in this play and you are day trading it, you want to make sure you have the right strategy and you pay attention to those areas of support. So we're going to take a look at the short interest information for BBIG. So scrolling down on the page, short shares availability is at 400,000, updated 14 minutes ago. And the short ball fee rate is at 70.27%. Now, when we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we can see for the close of the 9th, it was as high as 52.81. The close for the 10th is at 35.04. And the close from yesterday being at 31.47. So you can see that the short volume ratio is on a downtrend, but it doesn't change the fact that this play continues to have short squeeze potential. Normally, we look for a short volume ratio of 21% or higher, and it still fits that criteria. So what this means, if we have a lot more volume coming into the stock, we could see some strong moves to the upside, and it's part of the reasons why I say to keep it on your watch list. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for BBIG. So we can see on the inflow is at 148, and then on the outflow is at 140. So on the large, we had 3.27. On the medium, we had 103, and then on the small, we had 41.77. 0.7. When we take a look at the outflow side, you can see on the large it was 3.52, and then on the medium it was 98.30, and then on the small it was at 37.92, and overall ended up being an inflow day. We can see there was a lot of purchasing as far as for the medium and as well as for the small, so that means that everyone on the retail investor side and traders, just like you and I, they were buying up shares. Now when we take a look at those large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for today ended up being an outflow of 252.15, and it's pretty much taking the difference between the inflow and as well as the outflow. But one thing that we could see clearly, institutions are continuing to load up on BBIG, and I know many of you are going to be excited to hear that. And then on top of that, the retail interest is still there. But one thing to keep in mind, we need to have a lot more volume coming into this stock. This is very key, and it's something that you want to keep an eye on if you're planning to actually trade into this play going into tomorrow. So let's jump into the final thoughts, and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for BBIG, just make sure you have a strategy if you're going to be inside of this play. You want to make sure that you're being attentive, and another thing to be aware of is that $10 level. Now it becomes a psychological area. Now that we are actually trading below it, once we're able to have some price action above it, then you're going to start gaining the attention of more traders wanting to come into the play, and this will help with the overall volume. When we went on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information, we could see, hey, it has been going down consistently. But as far as when the numbers come out later on in the evening, I want you guys to actually drop it inside of the comment section. When I was putting this video together, the numbers were not available, but I'm very curious to know what it is. But one thing for a fact, I do believe it still continues to have short squeeze potential, especially the short volume ratio is above 21%. And also, before I close this video out, if you are holding shares for the long term, or you believe in the long-term prospects of the company, hey, you have an opportunity to take advantage of dips. But another thing to be aware of, if you are going in long term, you want to be patient. You might be able to actually get it at an even cheaper price if you decide to pull back for tomorrow or even for the rest of the week, because at the end of the day, we have some very volatile markets here, and as far as for the volume is concerned, and since this play really thrives on it, it could have an impact on the stock, and I want to make sure that you're timing your entries correctly and you're not having FOMO whatsoever. So I hope you found this video helpful, and we'll be talking real soon.